Welcome back to Cigar Time, your friendly Tuesday night show. I say that all the time, don't I?
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Now, thanks for viewing us again, and thanks for your support. This is our 90th show. You have been watching us for 90 weeks.
Wow.
We have been doing this for 90 weeks.
You guys deserve credit for sitting through us.
You guys deserve better.
But if you come into our show,
You deserve
if you come into our, don't pay any attention to junior members. If you come into our stores, we prefer cash. So
Yeah, you don't get any
no
credit.
credit.
I didn't get it.
I'm here again. We're honored to have Michael G back. It's easy to say Michael G than G.
Who's Gene back?
Michael Gene back.
G-Man. And today, we're going to talk about another new cigar, similar to what we've done the last few weeks, although last week was the 11-year-old
back.
Gloria.
It was an old
way
cigar.
back.
You should have bought the
That was a
push
throwback
guy sandwich
Tuesday.
between him and
Throwback Tuesday, yeah.
That would have been
Today, we're going to be reviewing and smoking the new Punch Signature, which came out a couple months ago, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it came out a couple months ago.
New release.
And the lovely Miss Tia will tell us all about
Oh
it.
my god, I get to talk. No, just playing.
Oh,
That's enough. Thank you.
Why?
We appreciate your sparkling repartee.
Oh, thank you. Okay, the wrapper is an Ecuadorian Corojo. The binder is Connecticut Habano, and it's Dominican and Nicaraguan filler. 4 sizes. And we're going to explore the taste profile. See if we can all pick it up. And then we'll let you know what it is.
It's like a surprise.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh,
So,
I need
Michael,
the light.
both the
You're
wrapper
not gonna
and
smoke.
the binder are fairly unusual in
Very
the industry today. You don't see a lot of Ecuadorian Corojo,
Or
and you certainly don't see a lot of Connecticut Habano.
Well,
Yeah, it is a weird beer.
it is, so part of what Punch has always been is always had, the cigars have always been blended with a wrapper from Ecuador. This wrapper, this Ecuador Corojo, was actually grown for this project, and this has been one of these projects that took us about 2 to 3 years. I give kudos to Ed McKenna again, who works on CAO. He also works on Punch, and also Augustine Garcia, one of the new cigar masters out of our Hadza factory. And Hadza, for those of you that don't know, that's based in Danlí, Honduras. It means Honduran American Tobacco of South America. That's where all the punches are made. And so when we were working on this project, Augustine loved this Ecuadorian Corojo because it's one of the original seeds. But to be able to grow it there and get this beautiful reddish tint wrapper, was very unique. So this is proprietary to this specific blend. It fit into the tradition of what Punch was. This is like a signature blend. And then using the Connecticut Habano as a binder just worked beautifully with this wrapper. And then, to have the fillers from Dominican and Nicaragua in there as well. You get that Punch signature flavor, but it harkens back to the tradition of where Punch was. So as you look at the box is very modern with the color blocking. And then we actually got back with the tradition of it. This is actually an original on the band, an original Punch look from back in the 1800s that we took right off the top of the band. And then, of course, the signature Punch and Toby, which you always see Mr. Punch.
Mr. Punch.
Oh, we should have brought him in.
I tried to bring Mr. Punch in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's this wry, kind of a little bit like Punch, wry, sophisticated, but yet, he's got his own sense of humor. And that's the icon to Punch. You'll see a lot of his stuff on social media with Mr. Punch kind of, doing his sarcastic wit, which is really, really fun. But this blend is, phenomenal. Really excited. We haven't done anything on Punch in a bunch of years. So you have the Grand Puro, you have the Grand Cru, you have Punch Blue Box, as we dearly call it, and this is the next alliteration of that Punch signature. So
This one, since this Corojo is rare,
You know what? And I was thinking that in my mind.
I can't
Well,
believe you
there's-
said that.
But there's a difference, though. You bring that up. So there's rare Corojo in Punch, right, which is much more reddish, and that's a whole different deal than this is. So when you're sorting through the Ecuadorian Sumatras, you always get the variations of the hues, and that is a different flavored profile than this type of Ecuadorian Habano. So Corojo, sorry, which is different in flavors, and you can taste the difference in it. It's got a different shade of coloring, and it's got a little bit more spiciness and pepperiness to it. The Connecticut Habano binder to it just brings up the flavors, and it's just very, very, traditional Punch, but yet not. So everything kind of fits in together with the legendary.
I'd like to make a point real quick. Now, on When we did the Amazon basin, everybody was saying they were getting the pepper towards a little bit towards the front. Now, when I was smoking it, I got it all the way straight in the back, which is why I say it's too overpowering. This one is straight on the tip, perfect, just enough spice. The initial light up, I was in love, which makes me want to keep smoking this cigar. So that's what I'm talking about when I say I don't like it too overpowering in the beginning. This was just enough. It was perfect. It draws you in. It says, "Ooh, oh my goodness, this is gonna be a good cigar."
Yep. Is that what it says?
Yeah, that's what it talked to me. What did you say? Oh yeah, you're right.
Can we
Mine said something.
categorize that as your initial?
Mine said, "Tell her to shut up."
You know what? You're lucky I don't have a punch to throw.
Can we characterize that as your initial comments about the cigar?
Yes, I'd have to get that out because it was really good.
Scott?
What? Initial comments?
Initial comments.
A lot of spice. A lot of spice. I'm getting it. Actually, I get it at the tip of the tongue, and I also like on the retrohale, at the top of my, the roof of my mouth, big time.
Paul?
And that's the difference.
Yeah.
The Ecuadorian
Yeah.
Corojo.
Yeah.
To me, this is a punch that's in a very different class than any of the other punches that are out there. I really like this.
This is very smooth.
Creamy.
Creamy, yeah. You're right.
It's got
Not
this-
like your typical punch.
It's got the spice, but it's creamy.
That's good.
Yeah, but the spice to me is not overpowering.
Not at
No,
all.
it's not. It's not
No,
overpowering at
no.
all.
I'm
I
upset
agree.
this-
I agree with everything Scott said. It's very.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
I
That's
know,
a
I got
first.
man
I know, I hate to
crushes.
do
We're
that.
man crushing.
That's
I
a
hate
first.
agreeing with.
Please cut and paste that and send me the little loop because when they start going at it, I want to replay that. Scott.
But all the kudos goes, like I said, Augustine Garcia. He is a master that works at our factory. He's a very young guy.
Kudos, Garcia.
He's got a lot of, he trained under the Plasencia family, which we all know very, very well. Worked with
Of
them, went to the
course.
Great Institute in Danley, and he's been working on our brands. He's part of our innovation team, and this is his project. And when he's like, hey man, I want to use an Ecuadorian Corojo, just like you said, Paul, what is
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
And we didn't know. He had already kind of saw this in the fields when it was growing. He's like, I want to use this. And so when he bought it to us, we all fell in love like you guys are. I mean, it's the exact kind of comments that we had when we were smoking it. So, Augustine, if you're out there, love you, brother. And great blend. Great blend.
Great.
Yeah.
We love you too. Great blend.
You don't even know.
Ah, doesn't matter. Like a cigar.
He's
Well,
a
that's
sweetheart.
okay. That's
No,
perfectly fine.
not so mean.
Since we're honored to have both Paul and Michael on the panel,
I have nothing to say.
you have nothing to say.
Wow. That's a first.
Can you get up and do a little soft shoe?
Absolutely not.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, I'd pay to see that.
You don't have enough money.
Well, you don't know. You never
Yeah,
know.
I know.
Oh, you do know? Oh, wow.
He does other business, you know.
Nobody has enough money. To get me,
All right,
to get me
so
to do a
let's-
soft shoe.
Let's keep it moving.
What's that? I'm enjoying
What
the
are the-
cigar.
yeah,
We
that's
can't
really
just sit and smoke.
90
What are the
episodes, we
four-
ran out.
What are the four sizes?
We finally ran out
The
of stuff
four
to say.
sizes are Rothschild, Torpedo, a Gordo, and I believe, is there a Toro or is there a Robusto?
It is a Toro.
Told you it was
Yes.
a Toro.
Okay.
Toro.
Look at me for.
Could you
So the
say it was a
sizes,
Toro?
to your point, we made the size a little bit more modern. So bigger
Yeah.
ring gauges with this. Really wanted to showcase the wrapper. I mean, as you see this, I mean, it's hard to see on TV, but as you're smoking, you just see the oils coming off this
Yeah.
wrapper.
Oh, yeah.
It's
It's
gorgeous.
just like, and the pith on the wrapper as well. It's just, you just fall in love with it with your eyes.
I'm
And then
upset
when you
it's my
smoke
first
it,
time
it just
smoking
adds to that. But it's unique because, you know, we really love that we kind of did with the packaging, you know, and this is Ed's baby, Ed McKenna, you know, really just taking the tradition of this old look and then modernizing it with this very unique box. And then, you know, same thing with these
Yeah.
two new tobaccos that we use, kind of brings that back into the heritage of punch. And it, you know, when you see the whole thing come together and smoke the cigar, it's just a beautiful package.
This is
altogether.
fabulous. This is really fabulous.
Really excited by this. I'm
This
really
is
honored
strong.
to be able
It's not strong.
to be able to work with
It
these
is.
wonderful
Got
guys.
a lot of nicotine.
Rob,
does.
what's the price points on these?
$5.39 to $7.39.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Then why'd you ask?
No, I'm shocked.
Surprised
Shocked.
you knew.
But that's what punch always has been. Punch
Yeah,
has
most
always
of punch
been-
Yeah.
is
It's always
just-
been a
A
reasonably
modest price.
Yeah.
A modest
Yeah.
price.
Yes.
No, but I thought
That's
this
true.
was a little more upscale. Price-wise, it's
You mean
not.
price-wise is up?
Yeah.
Because the cigar itself is very upscale.
It should
Well,
be
thanks
more
for
money,
correcting.
but
Yeah,
that's
you're
not what
welcome.
punch is for. Punch has always been about, you could smoke the cigar all day long. It's just a great value for what it is. This is still a great value.
Are they gonna do a
With
box
newer
press?
tobaccos on it, it fits in the wheelhouse of everything that you're looking to do. So if you're looking for cigars for every day, that you just want something like a big piece of porterhouse steak, here it is.
Yep.
Without the calories, so that's the fun part about this.
I love to
You're
smoke this in a
finding
box
it very
press
strong?
though.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of nicotine in it.
Yeah.
I would love to. I love box press.
Yeah, that's a great
I
point.
would love to smoke this in a box press. At least one size.
Hey, Mike, would you say
Like
in
it's-
general,
We could do that.
as in this case with the Ecuador Corojo and the Connecticut Habano, is there more and more producing seeds that aren't typically grown in a certain area? Are people doing more and more of that in general?
It's it's a funny thing because as a grower you have to say, hey, I'm going to grow an experiment with the seed, but you always have to have somebody that wants to buy it. So without so it's the chicken or the egg. Do you plant it and then hope somebody's going to go buy it, or do you actually talk to the producers? And we're on the forefront of that. We have lots of conversations with our tobacco guys. Have conversations with the growers, and it's like, hey, here's something unique. Here's a unique strain of tobacco that we want to go plant. Are you guys interested? And so, you take a little bit of a risk with that, but when you see the plants growing out in the fields and you see the big leaves and you kind of see where it's going to come, and then actually, for me, the fun part is actually seeing, and our tobacco guys, when this stuff is in-house and it's already pre-fermented, and you get to smell it in the bells, and you get to smell it in the pilons while it's fermenting, and then
That's
you put
when
it on a
that's
cigar,
when you
that's
know
when
what
you
it's
start
gonna
getting
be.
excited.
Yeah.
And this was one of those projects where we were like, oh my God, you got this Ecuadorian Corojo? What is that? And then we saw it, and it was like, wow, I can't wait to try this. And then the blending part came in, and that's where Augustine came in and just put this monster blend together. And we just absolutely fell in love with it. So it's a tough thing because there's lots of seeds, but if you don't have somewhere to sell it to, you're not going to grow it. So
It's-
and that's
it's
what's
one-
unique about our company is that we're always on the forefront of looking for new tobaccos and trying to grow some very unique things
Right.
to kind of give your consumers different taste profiles that is not the standard stuff that a lot of other people do.
I have a question. Are you starting to see a trend, or are you guys starting to use non-traditional binders now? Like we've got a Connecticut Habano. There are other cigars that are using. I just heard we were talking earlier that's using a San Andreas binder, Cameroon binders. Are you starting to experiment with that
We
in
have-
terms of flavor now?
The funny thing is, San Andreas tobaccos, we've used it for over 30, 40 years.
Yeah, I know.
Cameroons, we've used them for over 30, 40
As a
years.
binder?
As binders, as wrappers. I mean, we've used them for the entire thing. It's funny to me to see other people bringing this out. It's like, well, you didn't
You've been
invent
doing it
this.
forever.
We've been doing
yeah.
it forever.
Yeah.
Somehow, sometimes the word doesn't get out that we're using it, and
Right.
so when somebody new comes in and they're like, I'm using this. I mean, we've used it
This
for
was
a long,
smart.
long time. So, and the thing about wrappers is sometimes you see a wrapper that is not to our standards, so we'll use it as a binder because it just imparts flavor. San Andreas we've used forever.
Well, how about what was the thought process behind using the Connecticut Habano?
It just worked really well with this
does.
wrapper. It's just like,
The blending process.
Yeah, that's
Trial and error.
Trial and error. And
Yeah.
again, I give credit to Augustine. Augustine, he's a master at what he does, and he's like, I think I want to use this wrapper. I really like the
Yeah.
color of it. He kind of knew the flavors that he was trying to pull out of this, and when he put it together and we smoked it, it just worked. So it's unusual in that, it's his take on where he wanted to go with this. So, it just works. We constantly do this. I mean, there's tobaccos that have been out for years that, to us it becomes standard issue. But we're trying to find different wrappers out there, and you'll see some stuff coming up at our trade show in the next couple of weeks that is going to blow your mind of different
Wow.
types of tobaccos that we're using. So
Wow.
this is just a little preview of what you're going to see, and we were excited to be able to use this Ecuador Corojo.
I'm very jealous of your ability to do that kind of stuff on a grand scale.
Oh yeah, they can.
Because in my own business, we grow things that we know we're going to be able to sell to people, on the plantation side of the business. And we do experimentation. We plant new things, we try new things, we do crossbreeds and so on. But we never know if that's going to be saleable, and our presumption is always that it's not going to be. And we grow new things mostly just to figure out what it's going to taste like and see if we might want to use it in some of our own creations. and it's a happy miracle if somebody else wants to buy it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely
But
right.
but you guys are able to do it on a
Right,
grand enough
scale.
scale.
We're constantly pushing the envelope with tobaccos. I mean, that's what excites us as tobacco guys. I mean, cigar guys. We love what we do, and it's same in our factories. The passion and the excitement by that.
Yeah.
But this is not easy. I mean, these were grown probably, I got to say, about 3-4 years ago.
Wow.
And you know, this was the year that we finally said, you know, okay, so we want to do something on punch. We haven't done it in a while, and this was the perfect blend. It popped up, and it's like, hey, let's just put this under punch.
It's a good
You know,
choice.
but thank you, and there's more stuff that we're pushing. So, you know, even though we're a big company, you know, we think very small in tobaccos. We have, you know, all our great brands. We're always looking to push the envelope with tobaccos. That's what we love to do. That's what we're about. That's why, Arthur, in last week's, you know, episode, you were talking about tobacco. I mean, we have tobacco bales sitting there, some of this stuff 8 years. It's money sitting in a warehouse that you
Oh,
can't
it
do
is.
anything
Lots
with.
of money.
Yeah.
You know, and you just don't plant this, and then tomorrow you start using it. It's got to ferment. It's got to do everything tobacco has to do. It'll tell you when it's ready to be used.
Yeah.
Right? And then, you know, again, like you just said, Paul, sometimes you put it on a wrapper and the blend's not right, or
Yeah.
the tobacco's not ready, and you just got to put it back in, and you wait, and you ferment it a little bit more, and you sit on it. And the tobacco one day wakes up and says, hey, we're ready to be used.
I'm ready.
Told you
Right.
it talks to you. Yeah.
You know, and this stuff just doesn't happen. I mean, this is literally years of project. I'm working on stuff now in my team for 3 years down the road, and we're
Yeah.
always playing with stuff. And you know, you'll see stuff that is going to blow you away with taste profiles
Wow.
and unusual tobaccos that nobody's ever used.
Which brings up an interesting point that I think our viewers would be interested in learning more about. And the punch signature is probably an excellent example. Can you give us the timeline from basically the inception of an idea to the time it arrives on the shelves? What are the various processes?
It's we have a great marketing team that we sit and we look at the marketplace and we look at our brands and we analyze, you know, as much as we can about what we want to do with these brands. Each one of them has their own identities, and we protect that with all cost. And we launch things when we think it's right for that specific brand and what the need in the marketplace is. And then tobacco kind of dictates that when it's ready to be done. So there's a couple brands that we're working on now for the future that tobacco's not there. And so, okay, we'll wait. We'll wait. Until the blend actually comes on the radar screen, we don't really move. But we think about this constantly. That's what we do all day long is think about these things. So, you know, you've got a team of guys looking for tobaccos. We're pushing the envelope. We're looking for specific tastes. What's new out there? What do you have? Ecuador and Corojo. Okay, cool. What's that about? You know, until you actually get this in your hand, this project's been in the works. Not on our radar screen, but it was on our tobaccos guys' radar screen, and we get to smoke it, and here it is. And now you get to smoke it, and wait till you get your hands on this. This is done extremely well since we launched it.
Yeah.
You know, it's under the Punch brand. It made so much sense to do it.
The price point's
The
incredible.
price point's incredible. That's what we do. That's
I want
why
this in Freehold.
we maintain so much
No, I
tobacco.
wouldn't
But
know.
it's a
It's on
risk.
the
It's
shelf.
a
We're
big
gonna
risk
get it.
when you're trying to put together
Good.
blends and figure out what the future's looking for. But that's what's exciting to you folks out there is, you know, it's changing taste profile. So, you know, I've said before, you know, don't really worry about what these blends are. This is something you need to pay attention to because you haven't tried it. You know, to explain, you know, you ask that question, Scott, what's an Ecuadorian Corojo? You got to taste it. This is what Ecuadorian Corojo tastes like, and that's what the Habano Connecticut Habano tastes like as a filler. So for me to tell you, hey, it's going to taste like this, like this, like this, you got to experience it, and you guys have done it when this came out. And same experience for me. When I smoked this blend the first time, I looked at Augustine, I gave him a big kiss. Bro, this is unbelievable what you put together here. It's unbelievable. And Ed McKenna as well. I mean, he was excited by this, and let's do it. Let's go. So that's, you know, so what's the timeline? The timeline is from 0 to when the tobacco tells us it's ready. It could
Tells
be
us
3 years,
it's
it could be
ready.
2 years, it could be a year. It all depends. Because you don't move without the blend.
No.
You don't move to
And that's not how we
tobacco
operate at General Cigar. We are on the cutting edge. We're looking at tobacco. We're a big company, but we've got guys that are focused in on tobaccos and blends, and this is what we love to do.
Right.
Because the smiles on your faces is the smiles I'll take
Yeah,
back to
yeah.
the people that are working in the factory, because they don't ever get to see the final results. And That's what's exciting to me. It's not me. It's not one person. It is a team of people behind us. So really, the kudos go to the rollers. It goes to the tobacco guys searching these tobaccos. It goes to Augustine, the blenders. It goes to Ed McKenna. There's 1,000 people behind us doing this. You
Right.
just get
Yep.
to see the final product in the marketplace, and that you get to see it. So I always smile for them, and I always take that information back.
It's awesome.
Guys, people in the States love what you're doing.
Yes.
Great job.
It's
That's what's humbling and
It's
and
just
exciting.
nice to see a company as big as yours, and you're not just Macanudo and Partagas. You know
Speaking of
that
Mac-
you're doing new, interesting, aggressive things, and I know that's your personal purview.
Yep.
But I just love seeing it from
Thank
a
you.
big company,
Thank you.
and
Scott?
you're doing it well.
We're running a promotion.
Yes, with all of the general cigar brands, which are La Gloria Cubana, Macanudo, Partagas, Excalibur, Punch, Cohiba, CAO, and Dunhill and Tarano. If you buy any
Sounds it.
3, we will give you another cigar free, and that's through for another 2 weeks.
Wow.
Wow.
All stores,
Oh,
all of them,
all 10?
all 10,
Wow.
10 stores.
That are flashing by the screen right now.
Look at that.
On our website, cccigars.com.
That's
cccigars.com.
double C.
Yes, it is.
Double C cigar.
Double C
Well, how you
cigars.
do it comes out CC.
Whoa, Scott throws a punch at Rob.
I don't believe I just witnessed this. And I have to work with these people. Oh,
I
God.
actually did.
Good on him for saying that.
I just got punched.
I actually did
No,
catch
who's-
you by surprise.
That's all
Who's throwing it at you? God bless
you
you.
hear me.
No, I won't
Boy.
allow it.
Boy, Rob, you were on that in a hurry. Yeah, I'll do it.
No
We
more
gotta get that in
juvenile.
slow motion.
No more juvenile hijinks. All right, well, I think it's time for our final review and go for it.
Strong. Like a lot of red. I'm getting very peppery, very spicy, but in specific, red pepper. And a lot of nicotine, like you said. I'm actually a tad
little
bit
breathe on?
lightheaded. A little bit. What'd you say?
You're just a
You're
little,
lightheaded because there's nothing on top.
you're a little light in the loafers. That's the problem.
Soft shell?
I don't believe you just said that. You being Mr. Cool,
Thought I was the cold
what do you
one.
have to say? That's enough. All right, go ahead.
I find this cigar to be remarkably complex. It started out very peppery, as you said. I found the pepper backed off quite a bit,
Really?
and there's all kinds of creamy and nutty. I'm finding a lot of nutty flavors in this, and the retrohale is delicious. This is a great cigar.
Miss T?
I disagreeing with Scott about the power. This is a medium, to me, a medium body cigar all the way through. In the beginning, when you first lit it up, I didn't get the spice. I got like roasted coffee and like nuts and stuff. I really like it.
and
Now,
nuts
as I'm
Stuff.
getting,
I got the in stuff. I
yeah, I
forgot
got
to
the
mention
stuff.
that.
That's
And,
a
But
tech-
mine wasn't roasted. Mine was raw.
No, this is
Raw
roasted.
stuff.
Raw stuff.
And as you get
It's a
towards the
technical
middle,
phrase, guys.
it is starting to pick up and spice a little bit, but it's still not overpowering. This is a fabulous cigar. I'm getting cream. And I just want to point out, when you get a torpedo, sometimes at the cap, you know, it could be a little, I guess, like, you know how where they pack it, sometimes it can be a little hard. This one's perfect. It's just enough where it'll chew, you know, and I can just bite down and have an impeccable draw from it. This is great.
How's
The,
it go, guys?
the construction on this cigar is amazing.
Isn't it?
Rob?
Yeah, again, I can't believe I got to do this. I got to agree with Scott.
I'm Scott. Hi,
Right.
everybody.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
I'm getting a lot of red pepper in this cigar. It's very good. I don't agree with him about the strength. I really don't want to agree with Tia. That it's medium bodied, but it is very, very smooth. It does back off on the pepper, but it's very good. It's really smooth. It's probably this is my favorite punch now.
Yeah.
It's absolutely my
By
favorite
far,
punch.
by far.
Yeah, I'm getting a very, very tobacco-y taste also.
Yeah.
What a shock.
Yeah. Wow.
As for me, I usually don't like, as I've said numerous times in the past, heavy cigars. I don't find it quite that heavy. My head's not spinning as it would normally with a heavy cigar. It could be because I have so much hair left on my head as opposed to
Yes, but I take
Junior
mine off on
over there.
purpose.
That's true. Well, I do too. I do too. I have actually a full head of hair, but I look more sexy when I shave it back. Do you find me sexy?
I find it very sexy.
I think
Wait,
you guys should get a
I
room.
had to throw up.
I like that.
Get a room.
Okay,
Or raise.
I think it's time to rate this cigar.
I'm gonna have to, since it's my favorite punch, I guess I'm gonna have to give it a 9.
Oh, okay. Paul?
Give it a 9.25. I'm really
Might wanna
impressed.
edit me on
T?
I'm 9.35. So don't
I'll make my calculation complicated. Go ahead.
925.
And if I could throw something in.
Shoot. I threw something, you can throw it.
Yeah.
I'm presuming you're not going to give it a 4.
No, I'm not going to rate it because I think you guys are
That wouldn't be
great
fair,
ratings. I just cannot keep my eyes off how beautiful this wrapper is.
Yeah.
Oh my
It
gosh.
is gorgeous.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Miss T.
Well, that too.
Tease wrapper.
But
She's got a beautiful wrapper.
Dude, look at it. It's very reddish.
Did I give it a rating yet?
No.
No,
I-
Michael was talking, that's why.
Oh, who's talking?
Michael was just
Michael
talking.
was-
Oh, I thought he was done.
But
You
when
cut
you
him
look
off.
at this wrapper, I mean, between the band, how beautiful the artwork on the band is all the way
Band's
around,
gorgeous.
and how it just pops the wrapper even more.
You
Yeah.
just want to make
And the
love to it.
oils, I do.
The
I mean,
oils
it's
are
just, it's
coming
just,
through.
it's just gorgeous.
Yeah, the oils are
Absolutely.
really coming through.
I mean, look at that.
Well, I give it. I'm sorry.
And
I
one more thing.
Signal me
And
when you're
again,
done.
thank you, Paul, for saying that because it's a testament to our rollers in
Yeah.
Danley at our hot dog factory. I mean, they get excited when we come up with new projects. They're excited by this, and that then information will go back to them, and they'll be so excited because they're the doctors and lawyers of what they do. And to see this come out and be well received in the marketplace is great information for them. So thank you.
Thank you.
I give it a 9.25 as well, which works out to a 918.3.
I was gonna go with a 9.25, but there was too much stuff in it for me, so.
Too much stuff.
Too much stuff.
Yeah, and stuff.
Maybe it didn't have enough stuff.
Stuff is good.
Well, as we come
Stuff
to an
is
end
good.
of another show, these half hours fly by. It's time to say goodbye.
Hi, Mom. Life's too cheap to...
90
short to smoke
episodes,
cheap
man.
cigars.
90 episodes, yeah.
Yeah, throw him the punch.
By now you should have gotten it
Quickly.
right. Smoke often and smoke happy and smoke punch.
Smoke sweet, remember, a cigar a day keeps the doc away.
That's
It really
say
freaking does.
Rob.
Ciao for now, everybody.
Thank you.
On behalf of Michael and the Cigar Time crew, we thank you very much for watching. And to our late friend Bruce, happy sailing. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Ciao.
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 No
We
more
gotta get that in slow
juvenile.
motion.
This is Glenn Loop, Executive Director at Cigar Rights of America, a grassroots movement designed and in existence to defend your ability to enjoy great premium handmade cigars. We truly live in a renaissance of great cigar making. Right now, some of the greatest blends in the history of this wonderful industry are on the market. They're in these amazing humidors all around us. They're in your local cigar shop. Now they're under attack, whether it's smoking bans and taxation at the state level, or a city hall wanting to put new regulations on your ability to enjoy cigars, or what's going on in Washington, D.C. with the proposed federal regulation of this amazing industry. This needs to stop. You need to be a part of this process.